and welcome back to Call Me When They Kiss. I'm Sydney.
I'm Issa, and if this is your first time tuning in, every Friday, Sydney and I discuss a different romance movie, and you can also join us the last Monday of every month where we discuss a different romance book. This month, we will be discussing The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. That episode comes out Monday, January 26th, I believe. And today we will be discussing Notting Hill, but mostly Heated Rivalry. Next week, we're going to be discussing Bridgerton. The first 4 episodes are coming out next week. So we'll be discussing the first 4 episodes.
Yes.
Correct?
Are you excited?
I'm excited. And I think it will be interesting to do our first series, like romance.
Yeah, I just realized, our whole
television
spiel is,
series.
every week we watch a movie. And I'm like, well, and occasionally we'll mix in a TV show.
Yeah.
Not as often, because it's
I'm
hard
excited.
to, it's hard to keep up with TV shows, especially when there's, so many episodes. But I kind of like now that Bridgerton is split into 2, because it's easier to review 4 episodes.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the weekly releases.
That's true.
I wish they would just do
That's
that.
true.
I think it's fun to have an episode to look forward to every week.
And it allows you to pace it versus when a show drops and all the episodes come out and everyone's obsessed with it. You want to be a part of that conversation, but that means that you also need to watch all these episodes all at once. And it's just hard to work into your schedule.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But Sydney here has already seen the first episode of Bridgerton.
Yeah, we got...
Without spoilers, tell us everything.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I guess Netflix posted it. I saw... It was Netflix or, the official Bridgerton account. I saw them post, something about an early screening. And you just had to submit your email. But it doesn't seem like a lot of people knew about it. But yeah, I watched the first episode, and so far, it's not that much happens, but you definitely get to see what the characters have been up to, and it's hard without spoilers. But the biggest takeaway is that my biggest thought was Benedict's still a rake, and I'm just kind of tired. I'm can one of these boys just not be rakish? Can any of them just be nice boys that want to settle down and find the love of their life? I'm kind of getting tired of that storyline, because literally Simon, Anthony, and even Colin, who wasn't that way at the beginning of the... Yeah,
they made him that way.
Yeah. And so I'm oh, okay, the 4th guy who's kind of the same, which, it is what it is. I guess I don't know. There's only the little boy left. So, I don't know where they're going with the show later.
Well, don't the sisters get...
Yeah.
What's the one sister's name?
Oh, and actually, this does show the younger one. What's her name? Hyacinth? Hyacinth. She's possibly making her debut into society this season 2, which is crazy, because I'm aren't you 12? But I guess so much time has passed since the first season that she's so mature now, so we might see her even get a storyline. She kind of snuck into the ball that's happening in the first episode, and so I don't know if she actually gets her chance or if they're just kind of teasing at it. But yeah, I'm okay with all these guys being rakes if one of the girls was kind of rakish too. But it's it's just the same thing, rakish boy, virgin girl. I would like something to switch up, but I'm still excited.
Yeah.
I don't want to give away spoilers, but they've kind of set it up in a fun way that I'm excited to see what's next.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited, I think, for Bridgerton. I think I'll feel more excited once I actually start watching it.
Yeah, I was telling Issa this.
Well, tell them what you told me.
I was just about to say that, when I watched the first episode, I was okay, this feels good. I'm actually really excited for this. And then I watched Heated Rivalry. I was going to make Issa watch it first, and then
Heated
Yeah, remember I
Rivalry?
was like, "You watch the first episode and then tell me if it's worth my time." But then I went on a business trip this weekend, and the first night I got back to my hotel room and the TV sucked. There was like 10 channels and nothing was playing. And so I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna watch the first episode, see how it is." I stayed up till 3 a.m. the night before a like 10-hour conference. I stayed up so late, binge watching the first 3 episodes, and I was gonna watch more, but I was like, I have to be up by like 6 a.m. I got like no sleep. Um, and then I watched the next 3 episodes, not the next day, but the day after, because I was still at the conference. And so, yeah, I watched 3 episodes, then 3 episodes, and I was so hooked. And now I'm like, I don't care about Bridgerton. Give me another season of Heated Rivalry.
She was trying to get out of talking about Notting Hill.
Yeah.
Which yeah. We don't have to.
We'll get to Notting
We don't have
Hill.
to. We already had this conversation.
Yeah.
No, I was surprised when you told me you had watched the first 3 episodes, and then I was trying to catch up with you.
Yeah.
And even now, like, I just finished it. So, wait, what day did you finish it? Thursday?
Friday. I didn't get a chance to watch it on Thursday. So I watched half on Wednesday, half on Friday.
Okay, so today's Sunday, and I just finished it this morning, and then I was busy. So, like, I haven't even had time to deep dive into the edits, the Reddit threads, like, see what the online conversation is. So, I'm, like, fresh off of finishing it.
Consider yourself lucky, because I had to go through 3 long days of breakout sessions and public health higher education conferences, and the whole time, literally the whole time, all I see in my head is that club scene, the flashing lights, the song, all the
things
yes.
you said.
I like couldn't stop seeing it. And I like literally between every session, I'm like watching TikToks, getting my fix, and then going back in, and then getting out, getting my fix. No, but it was actually,
I don't even.
well, I was
No,
gonna
go
say,
ahead.
like, it was kind of nice, like, watching this and then going into it. So just a brief context of what this conference is, but it's like something about like those that work in student affairs in higher education, and like strategies to improve student well-being, health, and safety. And so a lot of these sessions were about like preventing sexual violence or like sexual health education, and they were talking about how a lot of people learn like sex ed from media, and like they get their social norms from media. And so, for example, like Twilight, we love Twilight, but her like first sexual experience is like, he might kill me. Like that Edward is like scared of killing her the first time that they have sex. So like things like that might skew people's thoughts and ideas about sex or what to expect. But having like watched this and then going into those and like being in these conversations about like consent and what people learn from media, I was like, this is actually a really good example. Like Ilya, like in some of their first like sexual experience, like he keeps stopping and asking him like, is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay? Like when Shane says like, no, I'm not ready for that, he's like, oh, that's okay, we can do this. And like they're like very like they're communicating with each other throughout it, and like talking about boundaries and what they're comfortable with, and making sure they get consent. And that was kind of like refreshing to see, like in a TV show where like a lot of media portrays things in not a great way. So that was just what was in my head in all of these sessions. Like, hey,
while you're at your work
yeah, I'm like,
conference,
they get an A+.
you're just thinking about Connor or Ilya
Yeah.
and Shane. But
you liked
oh my
it?
gosh. Okay, well, no, yeah, I really liked it. Especially like the first 2 episodes, I was like, well, yeah, they're really hot. like yeah, I'm going to keep watching. But I wasn't like I wasn't like
Invested.
seeing the
Yeah.
hype yet. Yeah, I wasn't invested. And then episode 3 was it like Connor, I keep calling him Connor. Ilya and Shane weren't even in it at all. And at first, like 5 minutes into the episode, I was like, oh my gosh, where's Ilya? Bring back Ilya. But then by the end of the episode, I was so invested in Kip and Scott's
Yes.
relationship.
And I've actually heard that a lot of people like hate that episode. That they just like saw, I mean, obviously it made
really?
sense later, like the context of why. But
Yeah,
like they just think it's filler. They don't like Scott, like, but I thought it was really cute. Like, at that point, I liked that third episode more than I liked the first two
than
episodes.
the first 2 episodes. Yeah, well, and then episodes 4, 5, 6, then I got really invested in Shane and Ilya. And then in episode 5, I was so glad we had episode 3 for the context of what happens with Scott and Kip. And I literally was crying. Did you cry?
Well, okay. I unfortunately saw some edits before I finished.
Ah, dang
and
it.
so like I knew what was coming. Like I already saw like the scene in edits, and so I think I would have felt a little bit more like emotion if I hadn't had it spoiled, but I still loved it. Like just everything, like it's so well acted. And that's the crazy thing is like the show's low budget. They cast these, nobodies. But everyone's acting, I think, is like really, really good. Especially because I saw interviews before I watched the show. I was not expecting them to be how they were in the show because they're so different. And just like the look on like Shane's face, he's just like shocked. But then when it goes back to Ilya and like he just has this like, I can't even describe like the look that was on his face. And then when he calls him and he's like, I'm coming to the cottage.
No,
I was like,
I know, it was so awesome. And like the song they were playing, and I was like surprised like how much I was crying. Cause I'm not like a big crier. I don't even know. Like, and I was just by myself today watching it. Well, Ryan watched
Oh,
the first
really?
episode with
What
me.
did
Did
he
I tell you
think?
that? Yeah.
Was he shook?
I think he liked it. I think he would have kept watching it with me, but like I couldn't wait for him. Like I had to get it finished so we could talk about it. But no, I watched it with him and my sister. And my sister she's almost done with it now. But no, like I was watching the last 3 episodes by myself today, and I was like crying, and then when the last episode when Shane's dad like catches them, I was like screaming at the TV. Oh, yeah, it was a fun watching experience.
I've seen the meme of like when they go to his parents' house after, and Ilya's just standing there like this, and they like put him side by side with Cam from Modern Family. That meme of him. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He's just standing back there.
Yeah.
That part was cute. Yeah, it's just
and when he's like, Shane is like, this, and me and Ilya were,
lovers.
And Ilya goes, lovers. And Shane's like,
he's like, that's gross, Ilya.
Don't say that.
Yeah. It's just, and I don't really enjoy like a lot of like very sexually explicit shows. Bridgerton season 1, I felt that way. I was like, okay, like first couple of episodes, whatever, and then it just kind of kept going, and I get kind of bored. Didn't feel like it's moving the plot along really. Like, I guess Bridgerton's just bad. Speaking of like consent and healthy relationships, Bridgerton is like the exact opposite. Bridgerton season 1, like they are like not communicating with each other at all. She like literally traps him and doesn't let him like consent to that experience to try to get herself pregnant. Like all the red flags are in Bridgerton season 1. But I just like, I don't really care for a bunch of that, but I will say like the contrast of those first 2 episodes, I can see why like why it's in this show, because it shows the first couple episodes where they're not like, they don't like each other, they don't really even know each other, and they are just kind of lustful or whatever. There's a physical attraction, but but that shows like how their relationship progresses and changes. And like that whole last episode of them in the cabin, and I guess we should say spoiler warnings, but like even though they're still having sex or whatever, but like the whole thing is different. And I think that, like, you can use sex to, like, show that, you know, like, how it progresses and changes and how relationships evolve. And I just thought the whole last episode was just super sweet and cute to, like, see them together and just be able to be happy, you know? Like, when they're playing in the water and he's like, "Give me a kiss."
Yeah.
It's just so cute, you know? And there's not a lot of times where, like, we get a TV show where we get even a whole episode of the main couple just being cute and being happy, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's
there's
true.
always some sort of drama and something tears them apart, and I loved seeing their little happily ever after of season 1.
Yeah, I liked episode 6, and I liked how the conflict with his parents really had nothing to do with him being gay. They were just more like, but he's your hockey rival.
She's like, you didn't ever let him win on purpose, right? And he's like, no, Mom, of course not. Like, she's more concerned about that. And it was really touching, like, when she leaves and he goes out and follows her. Like, the mom leaves and Shane follows her. And he's talking about how he's tearing up and he's like, I'm sorry, Mom, like, I really tried. And she immediately was like, no, that's not. Like, it's clear she was feeling conflicted because of what you're saying, like the rivalry and all of this stuff. And maybe even like what this would mean for Shane's career, but that it wasn't like, it wasn't for him being gay, you know? And I just thought that was touching that.
Yeah. Well, and I took it as her being upset. Like, she was upset that he didn't feel like he could tell her.
That she wasn't a part of that, and Yeah. It was sweet. And I never would have thought, like, watching the first 2 episodes, I would have never have thought, well, this show's...
That we would
like,
get to
this
that
show's
point.
gonna make me cry, or this show's gonna, like, show me true love, or, like, this show's gonna be so sweet and touching. No, the first 2 episodes, I was like, okay, what is this? So if you watch the first 2 episodes and you're like, keep going.
Yeah. I was shocked by the time skips.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the show starts in 2008 and season 1 ends in 2017. Well, and, like, I will say, because I agree, like, their relationship, they, like, fall in love, and we do get to see some sweet moments together. But as, like, a slow burn girly, I kind of would have liked even more of that, like how they go from that to like being in love with each other. Like, I know they had that moment, like, was it at Ilya's house and then Shane like freaks out and leaves. But like, I don't really understand still how they went from like sexting and hooking up to like...
No, I did kind of feel that way when he was like, I love you, and I was like, oh, I can see you guys like starting to develop feelings for each other, but like love. And I guess I'm just, like, assuming that, like, there was stuff that wasn't shown, like, oh, okay, maybe after these hookups they talk. Well, but even, like, I think it was episode, I don't know if it was 4 or 5, but, like, Shane's really starting to like him, and, like, he doesn't even know yet that, like, that Ilya's mom's dead, that, like, big things about him, and so... Yeah, I don't know. But I guess if I'd spent time with somebody over 6 years, even if it was in like that casual way and like getting to know them through just like the sport or like, I don't know. But yeah, I did feel the same way. Like, it was super sweet and cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, they like each other so much. I love this. But yeah, I thought the same thing of like, well, but when did they fall in love?
Yeah, like overall, it didn't really bother me because like you're saying, like we can just assume it happened. And at the end of the day, I'm just happy that it happened. But like my sister just texted me as we've been talking, and she's like, just got to episode 4 and Shane and Ilya had their first actual conversation.
And it is kind of hard to keep track of the time. Like, okay, wait, the Russia phone call, that is before or after? That's before he says Shane's name and Shane freaks out.
When he's talking to him in Russian and he says he's in love with him?
After?
I think that's after Shane freaks out and leaves.
Okay, so, like, you can assume that's when Ilya's starting to, like, catch feelings. Shane already was catching feelings. He
Yeah.
says his name. Okay, Ilya's starting to feel this. But then, like, everything happens. I don't know from when they reconnect, for the All-Star game to the end of the show where they're, like, in love. I don't know how long that is. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to, like, go on Reddit and look at, like, a timeline. I'm sure someone has, like, a
yeah.
timeline written out for
So
us.
say even like 3 months to like 6 months has passed since they've like reconnected and like liked each other and been friends or whatever it is, like you're saying, it still would have been nice to see moments within that 3 to 6 months that relationship was really starting to like grow.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted because I was thinking about the part when they're in the hotel room and they've been hooking up for years. And Shane goes, I think
Yeah.
I'm gay. Ilya goes, what makes you
Yeah.
think that?
Yeah, no, that was funny.
That's funny.
I like Ilya. Okay, you said something about
No, he's so
in
funny.
the 3rd episode when you were like, "Oh, where's Ilya?" So you like Ilya? You think he's hot?
But yeah, when this was the moment when I was like, holy shit. When Shane, it's in episode
Mhm.
2, and Shane is on the bed and Ilya's sitting in the chair and he has like his shirt unbuttoned and then it's like dark, like the lighting's hitting him perfectly and he like stands up and like takes his shirt all the way off. I was like, oh my gosh.
I texted Issa, I was like, "Tell me why gay hockey men are making me wanna hit the gym so bad." Like, I don't know what it is, like, that I'm just like, "Wow, I am so out of shape." And I wanna be ripped, obviously not like that, but I'm like, "I want a sexy body."
No, that's actually true. Like I've never looked at a man and thought, I need to get in shape. It's usually like if I see like a hot girl
Yeah.
like on Love Island looking good in a bikini, I'm like, dang, I wish I looked like that. But I had the same experience watching Shane and Ilya. I was like, wow, like I really need to like go lift
No,
some weights.
seriously. I don't and I need to get my butt like theirs. Okay, so this TikTok that said she's like, "We need to talk about how Heated Rivalry is doing great PR for blonde men." Because
Oh yeah.
Issa knows this, I am not a blonde guy girl. I'm like, ugh, blonde guys no.
Yeah.
But yes, I love Ilya. And I love I was gonna say Hudson because that's his real name. Now I'm like, Connor and Hudson. I'm on a first name basis with them. Shane. I think he's super cute too.
I think
And his little freckles.
he's cute.
He's cute.
I think he's cuter in real life than he is in the show.
Like they style him better
that makes
in real
sense.
life, or like his whole like aura. Both.
Both. Shane's he's cute,
Mhm.
sweet boy Shane. But Hudson Williams is like way cooler and has a better
Yeah.
hairstyle. Okay, but like like people would make fun of Shane all the time, including Ilya. They just like come at him with these like really funny jabs and roasts. And Shane literally had no comebacks other than off. And I was like, Shane, you gotta come up with something better. Did you
Yeah.
notice that?
Yeah, but it's so cute though to watch like how Ilya like kept teasing him like, "Oh, you're so boring. You're so boring."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "But you love him." I just love like whatever trope that is. I like.
I don't even know what it would be.
You're boring, you're not my type, whatever, to like being obsessed with them. I like. And I haven't
Yeah.
read any of the books, but from what I've heard, it's like a he fell first, but he fell harder. Like Shane fell
Oh,
first, but
okay.
like Ilya's
Yeah.
the one that's gonna be like really like in love with him.
Yeah.
So
Well, today Kylan told me the first book is actually Kip and Scott.
yeah, they're like not in this order.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, what were you gonna say like 3
Well,
minutes ago?
apparently, just today, J-Lo, J-Lo's production company is producing Happy Place, and J-Lo and Emily Henry today followed Hudson William on Instagram. They like both just today followed him, and so people now are like, "Is he gonna play Win?" And I'm like, "Ugh, I like love Hudson Williams, but if anything, I'd say if Ilya."
Connor's
Sorry. Were you going to say
No,
this?
I was just going to say Connor's story gives me more
Exactly.
Win vibes than Hudson Williams.
If he has that much chemistry with a girl, like, yeah, I would see him playing Win more than Hudson Williams. So, I don't know.
I've also I saw someone fan cast Scott. I don't know that actor's name. Who were they fan casting him with? It was like Charlie Lastra, or I saw him in someone's Emily Henry fan cast.
I don't find him as cute, and I'm not really sure why.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Scott Hunter?
Yeah, I
thought
think he's
Kip
hot.
was, well, maybe it's just that Kip had a really good body too. He was like super jacked.
That was like fan fiction. Like, you're working at a smoothie shop, a super hot, super rich hockey player comes and asks you out. You spend one night with him, and he says, "You just stay in my amazing penthouse. I gotta go play a hockey game because I'm a professional hockey player.
But I've never felt this way about anyone.
You just wait here for me." Yes. That was like your name fan fiction, self-insert fan fiction. That was crazy.
Seriously. And then his friend that's like, girl. Girl. No, that was me the whole time too. That would be crazy. Crazy business.
Yeah, I was jealous of Kip.
I really like sorry. I did really like Kip though, and I really liked his dad even. I was like, show me more of Kip's dad. He seems really sweet, but you just sent me a TikTok about this, like about how Shane has kind of been like giving Scott has been giving Shane and Ilya the side eye of like, I know what's going on, and that like it just took one insult from Shane for him to like totally blow him out of the water.
Oh yeah, when Scott's like, you're starting to sound like him. Wait, because I saw a TikTok about that. Like, did I miss something? Like, how did Scott know?
Okay, so in the first time they like hook up in the hotel room, they're like talking, Shane and Ilya, and Scott is sitting next to Shane, and he's like, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, just trash talk, whatever." But then Ilya skates by and he says 1 2 2 1, and Shane kind of like gives him the side eye, and he's like, "Oh, blah blah blah, he's an a-hole or whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, lucky me, I'm staying in the room next door." And so by him saying 1 2 2 1, like that number doesn't mean nothing to Scott, because Scott's in 1 2 2 2 or 1 2 2 0. Like he knows what that means, and so there's a couple other things that like I think that really tipped him off though, because then later that's why he's like, "Oh, what about your boy Rosenoff?" Or like he keeps saying these kind of like more subtle things. But that I think was like the big giveaway. And I think that maybe if he wasn't also gay, maybe he wouldn't have thought about it, but because he's gay, and he kind of put that all together.
Okay, I forgot about that because I watched the first episode like 3 days ago. And then I watched like all the rest in the last 24 hours. But also, yeah, they would like be talking about things like on the ice. And I was like, the whole time I was so scared. I was like, they're going to get caught. Then they did by Shane's dad. But yeah, like they were just like straight up making plans to meet up.
They're not
like,
very subtle.
In the middle of hockey games.
But that kiss on the helmet after the All-Star game, I thought that was so cute. And I could see how that would be playful enough. I mean, like professional athletes like slap each other on the butts and do all sorts of things. And so I could see like how that could be seen as playful, but yeah, they weren't subtle. And when they were doing the interview, and they kind of like bump like to say like, "Hey, I'm here," and they kind of like touch feet. That's what all I thought during that scene is unless there's some sort of like tablecloth on that table that goes all the way to the floor, we can see y'all playing footsie. So
oh man. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say about it. Do you have anything else?
I just had a fun fact. Which is,
okay, tell us.
That the whole series was filmed in 37 days. That really surprised me. I know that like they've said it was low budget, and I guess some people have been nitpicky about things, but I didn't notice. There was nothing while I was watching it that was giving low budget.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But it was produced by like Crave, which was like a really small, low budget production company. And then I guess like last minute, HBO like bought the rights and decided to have it on their platform, which really helped it blow up.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because I never, like, I know HBO has some good movie, like, HBO tends to get some of the big blockbuster movies on their platform, but I've never really thought of it as a place to, like, watch out for new shows on. But now I'm like, maybe I should be paying attention to HBO more.
Well, yeah, same. Like, that's funny. Like, HBO does have a lot of shows that are really popular.
Sex and the City, Game of Thrones.
But we've just never watched them. Well, those are like old ones. Like a lot of my friends like The White Lotus.
Oh, that's true.
Or, I mean, I've never watched Euphoria.
Okay, I guess you have a good point. HBO is known for having more risque
we're just
shows.
we just don't normally watch
they're known
HBO.
for shows that have a lot of sex and nudity, which this one does, but it's kind of like what we've talked about in other episodes though. Like, I just want like a good story too, and I think that this gave us that, where like shows like Euphoria are just like toxic and messy, and I'm sorry if there's any Euphoria ship fans here, but like it's just not my kind of show when there's just like a bunch of sex with a bunch of toxic, really lame people that all need to take a chill pill and back up, you know? So those kinds of...
I feel like I don't know enough about Euphoria to like form an opinion.
Well,
on
I haven't watched it, but I've done a lot of research on it because I do know that it's a popular show, especially among younger people. And when we talk about like we have Healthy Relationship Month every February at the college, and that's always the example that we use for unhealthy relationships. Yeah,
is Euphoria.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm excited for season 2, and maybe when season 2 comes out, we can do weekly recaps.
Does it come out weekly?
And reviews of each episode.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
I know.
I was gonna say that.
I love a weekly show.
I was gonna say if it, well, I guess it goes either way, but I was like, yeah, when this one comes out, you definitely need to come down here and we'll invite, I was gonna say your friends over. I hope that they like me too and might call me their friend now. But our friends can come over and watch it with us. But
no, yeah, that'd be fun. Man.
Okay.
Well,
now
anything else?
Time to move on to the much lesser piece of media.
Notting Hill.
It was so hard.
You guys.
It's so hard to go from heated rivalry to this.
Well, yeah, the movie was ass. Like, I did not like it.
Okay, this was my confession I was going to tell you.
Yeah, tell me what you were going to say.
Like, did you watch the movie? And I was like, yes.
Yeah, because as of a few hours ago, she hadn't watched it.
I started watching it during my children's nap time. Of course, I was going to watch it before the episode. But my confession is I did DNF it. So I half watched it. I literally...
How far did you get?
I got over an hour in. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes. But there was still 45 minutes left. And my kids woke up and I was still going to watch it. And I was like, I literally do not care. I do not care how this movie ends. I don't want to spend my time watching it. So I tried.
Listen, I get it. I didn't want to finish it. I didn't want to finish it either. And that's why I'm mad at you that you didn't finish it. Because I sat through all 2 hours and 4 minutes of that long-ass, boring-ass movie.
I was like, why is this movie so long?
Well, yeah, because, like, we started it because, like, Ryan was going to watch it with me, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's a rom-com, like, it's 90 minutes. I turn it on, 2 hours and 4 minutes.
You want to hear something insane? Okay, let me tell you this. Where is it?
Should I fill the silence while you're looking? You guys, Emily Henry said this was one of her top 5 rom-coms. And like, you know us, we worship the ground Emily Henry walks upon. But like, I did lose like 10% of my faith in her after watching Notting Hill. I did not like it. So if you're a Notting Hill fan, please explain to us why. Like, am I just not getting it? Like, what am I missing?
I really need to know
with what you're going to tell us?
That's such a good point, and I feel the same way because I know that this is like iconic. You know, like this is one of the ones that like went down in history.
Yeah,
and I don't get it. Yeah, the film was originally 3.5 hours long, and that they cut scenes,
criminal.
including like a rooftop scene where they're practicing lines or something. Like they cut a bunch of stuff, but I'm like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, it's funny because like I have not watched like Avatar yet because I'm like, ugh, it's 3 hours. But then I watched 3 hours of Heated Rivalry 2 nights in a row. But
Yeah.
no. And okay, and yes, Issa, what you're saying is so true. Not only is it Emily Henry's favorite film, but it also was at the time it was Britain's I was like, it was Britain's highest grossing film of all time. Not even just romance.
I had that written down. Yeah.
And it received 3 nominations at the Golden Globes. And
yeah, I had that written down in my fun facts.
Like all of these awards, big awards, like the Golden Globes, I can't even imagine. I know what movies, I mean, I can't name them off the top of my head, but like I did see some of the clips from the Golden Globes last weekend, and none of them were movies like this at all. So I'm not really sure like when the snobbery started, because we talked about this when Harry Met Sally. When Harry Met Sally was nominated for a lot of these prestigious awards too. And I want to know like when that stopped. Like when rom-coms got, nope, you're not serious enough.
Well, maybe when they stopped making good ones and putting them in the theater.
Well, but even like
what rom-com do you think? Like the only romance movie I can think of that came out this year was The Materialist, and we didn't like that.
No, but I'm like, these were all in the 90s, and I'm wondering, like, was it because they became too silly? Because then the rom-coms came, like...
But this was a silly movie.
This wasn't even silly. This was just... didn't make me laugh once. Like, I mean, like, goofy, like, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, or The Wedding Planner, or that one with Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew McConaughey. I can't remember what that's called. But like, yeah, Failure to Launch. Like, were they too comedy? I don't know, but this wasn't funny.
I like how you're like, yeah, why did rom-coms stop getting nominated? But this one that did get nominated should not have been nominated.
It sucked.
Well, the writer and director, they were both British. So maybe we're just not British enough to appreciate the movie.
Let me see. I think I wrote something like really short and vague in mine. I put, are British people just weird? ? Like, I thought the same thing. I was like, is this just like a British movie? Because I didn't really like Bridget Jones' Diary either, and that was a British movie too.
It felt very British to me. Not that I'm an expert on British people, but
y'all are weird. No,
it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't even know where to start. Let's start with, I think I should read the plot synopsis, because especially if we start posting about how we didn't like this movie before the episode comes out, people might not watch it. So you guys, we got you covered, okay? I'm going to read the plot synopsis. We will be honest with you guys in our social media posts and tell you. You don't need to watch.
We need to make an opposite stamp of like our certified stamp, maybe one of like butt cheeks. Because of what you said. Yeah, because what you said.
Can they be Connor Story's butt cheeks? No, that would be an insult to Connor Story's butt cheeks. How about just a poop emoji?
A really cute girly poop.
Okay. Okay, this episode is getting unhinged. Okay, I'm going to read the plot synopsis, okay? And I am just reading this from Wikipedia because I was too lazy to write one. So Wikipedia, I'm plagiarizing from you. Okay. William Thacker, played by Hugh Grant, owns a travel bookstore in Notting Hill, London. Divorced from his wife who left him for another man, he shares a flat with Spike, a flaky and sloppy Welshman. One day, famous Hollywood actress Anna Scott, played by Julia Roberts, enters the shop and buys a book. Shortly after she leaves, Will goes to buy his colleague Martin a juice, but bumps into Anna while rounding a street corner, spilling it on her. He takes her to his flat across the street so she can change. When leaving, she impulsively kisses him. That was the first time in the movie where I said, what the hell? Anna later invites Will to visit her at the Ritz Hotel. There he is mistaken for a reporter and ushered into a press event for her new film. When asked, Will says he writes for Horse and Hound magazine. Anna asks, what's so funny?
I'm just laughing at you. That was the first time. Sorry.
Actually, no, the first time I said what the hell was probably when Spike entered the frame. Okay. Anna asks to be William's date at his sister Honey's birthday party later that evening. Though his friends and family are surprised, she gets on well with everyone and enjoys herself. Later, the two enter a private neighborhood park where Anna again kisses Will. At a restaurant the next day, Will and Anna overhear a party of men at a nearby table discussing her, first praising and then disparaging her and equating actresses to prostitutes. He confronts them, then she introduces herself and calmly insults the stunned men. Anna invites Will to her hotel room, but after discovering that her movie star boyfriend, Jeff, who jump scare was Alec Baldwin, has unexpectedly arrived from America, he leaves. Huh? Sorry, I'm doing a bad job of reading this, you guys. Okay. Over the next 6 months, Will's friends Max, Bella, Bernie, and Tony arrange a series of dates for him, but Will, heartsick over Anna, is uninterested in another relationship. One day, a distraught Anna appears at Will's doorstep needing to hide due to a tabloid scandal. She apologizes about Jeff and says their relationship is over. They discover shared interests and discuss Will's print of this piece of art. I don't know how to say the artist's name or the name of the painting. Anna says it shows how love should be and that happiness isn't happiness. Okay, this is blah, 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 blah. They have sex, okay? That's what you need to know. The next morning, paparazzi inadvertently tipped off by Spike, besiege the house and take photos of Will, Anna, and a half-dressed Spike at the front door. Furious, she blames Will and leaves. Several seasons pass and Will remains miserable. When he discovers that Anna is back in London making a film, blah, 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 he goes to the set to visit her unannounced. She asks him to wait until the shooting is done, but he leaves when overhearing her being dismissive about him to another actor. Anna comes to the bookshop the next day bringing a wrapped gift. Will says he overheard what she said about him to her co-star. Anna explains that she was merely trying to keep her personal life private. She proclaims that she loves him and pleads to rekindle their relationship. Will refuses, explaining that he would not recover if she left him again. That's where she says, "But I'm also just a girl, standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her." Will meets his friends and sister at a restaurant with Anna's partly opened gift, the painting that they talked about before they had sex. They half-heartedly support his decision about Anna until Spike arrives and calls him a daft prick. Will admits his mistake and everyone races across London to find Anna, who is holding a press conference at a hotel. They arrive just as her publicist announces that Anna is taking a year off and is leaving the UK that night. A reporter asks about the embarrassing photographs taken at Will's flat, and Anna says they are just friends. Will asks her if she would consider being more than friends if he begs her forgiveness. She says she would, then requests the reporter to repeat his question. How long are you intending to stay here in Britain? Smiling, she answers, indefinitely. Anna and Will marry, their wedding cake featuring the painting. They keep bringing up this painting. I guess I should have read the details. I skipped over it thinking it wasn't important. Spike and Honey also marry. Okay, we don't care. Anna is later seen to be pregnant as she was pregnant? I didn't catch that. As she and Will spend time in the private park that they visited on their first date.
Tomatoes.
For some reason I get, yeah. Boo, tomato. For some reason I always get out of breath when I'm reading those.
It's kind of long.
And if you were confused by that synopsis, yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, it was a boring movie.
Yeah. I literally, 1 hour and 15 minutes in, nothing had really happened.
Wait, so what part did you leave off at?
When he sees her boyfriend. Something short.
So you did see Alec
something
Baldwin.
Shortly after that. And I was like, what the freak? She has a boyfriend? And I told Issa, I love Julia Roberts. I think she's so beautiful, and I love her. And I've watched a lot of her movies, and I knew there was a reason why this was the one that I had never rewatched and that I didn't care about, but I couldn't remember why. But yeah, as soon as I started it, I was like,
then it all came flooding back to you.
Yeah. I just don't think Hugh Grant is cute at all. I think the dialogue was weird.
It was
Yeah,
weird.
it was just weird.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yes,
Can I say something?
Of course.
They did not talk like normal people, in particular Hugh Grant. And I actually, as I was reading about the movie, the writer said, like, I guess the writer, I can't remember his name. His first name was Richard. I can't remember his last name. I guess he, like, had worked with Hugh Grant before, and they really liked working together. And the writer was like, nobody can say my lines the way Hugh Grant can. And I'm like, well, yeah, no wonder, because people don't talk like this. And I even saw a Letterboxd review. This was a 5-star Letterboxd review, okay? Let me just read it really fast. Hugh Grant telling Julia Roberts, so this is a line from the movie, my relatively inexperienced heart would, I fear, not recover if I was, once again, cast aside as I would absolutely expect to be. And they said that should have won an Oscar. But that line, like, that's an example of, like, the way he talks, and you're like, huh? It's just like word salad.
It sounds like the writer, like, thinks that he sounds really smart and smooth, and that it's just like, no, that doesn't even make sense. And
Yeah.
And guess what else the writer wrote?
Tell
Your
us.
least favorite romance of all time.
About Time?
Yep.
Really?
Same
That's crazy.
screenwriter. And Yesterday.
That is so
which Alan
funny.
really likes Yesterday, but I thought it was kind of
The
boring.
Beatles movie?
Yeah, the Beatles movie.
Is that the Beatles movie?
I don't know why he likes it so much.
That's
yeah,
funny.
so he did Notting Hill, Bridget Jones' Diary, Love Actually, About Time. Like, he's done like several movies that are hits, but I am not a fan of any. I don't like Love Actually at all either.
Okay, this is so interesting that it's all the same writer. I haven't seen any of those other ones. Except for About Time.
Yeah. Love Actually is just weird.
So what's his name?
His name is
Richard what?
Whaley, Anthony Curtis. I don't know if that's his... that's what Wikipedia says. I'm like, does he go by that, or is it just Richard Curtis? I don't know. But, yeah, he's one of Britain's most successful comedy screenwriters.
So who's in Love Actually again?
Love Actually has, like, a big cast. It's, like, multiple storylines happening at the same time, but it does have, the guy that plays Snape. Alan Rickman. Liam Neeson, Keira Knightley, Colin Firth, Emma Thompson, Hugh Grant. They've got like a lot of
British people.
A lot of really big British stars. But it's just weird. It's just a weird movie too. So not as boring, but weird.
Oh yeah, Keira Knightley. Okay, yeah. I've seen the clips with Keira Knightley.
Yeah, like he's standing out there with like big cards outside the window.
Yeah.
But that whole storyline is whack because she got married to his best friend. So in that scene, she's married to that guy's best friend.
Yeah.
It's just all...
No, I saw a clip of that, and I, even without the full context of the movie, I was like... Because she, like, runs out and kisses him. But I knew there was someone else in the house.
And the guy's best friend is right inside. Yeah, it's weird. So I'm not a fan.
Richard Curtis.
No.
You're on our... bad list. We don't have a clever name.
I don't know if he's still making movies, but if he does, I'm not watching it.
Okay, my two main problems. Well, I had a lot of problems. I won't say a number. I'm just gonna start going off. It was boring. They didn't talk like normal people. We already kind of talked about that. My other main issue, Julia Roberts was like not a character.
Yes, I thought like 30 minutes in, I was like, why is Hugh Grant the main character? This isn't how rom-coms work.
which someone like a Notting Hill apologist on Reddit they said that like Notting Hill is like a fairy tale, like a gender swapped fairy tale, because like like Hugh Grant is like Cinderella and he's like whisked away by rich royalty. Okay? And they were like, if you think about fairy tales, like the Prince Charming character is not really a character. It's just like...
Well, sure.
A generic...
In like the original cartoon Cinderella, but like even then...
Yeah.
I mean, that was like 100 years ago, one. And two, I'm not kidding. Snow White came out 100 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you're right. I thought you meant like... when Cinderella takes place.
No. I meant like when these stories were told. Was it actually 100 years ago? I think it was. Like, the 1920s. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
It's
I'll look it
so
up.
old, and we didn't like that, which is why when these live action like remakes started happening, they started giving those characters stories. Like, that's not
Snow White came out in
okay, so
1937.
almost 100 years ago. Yeah, like that's
Okay, but keep going.
not like just because that's how fairy tales were told doesn't mean that like that's a good way to tell a story.
Yeah. No, I mean, I
Oh, well,
wasn't
I
saying
know
I
you
agreed with
weren't.
them. And also it's like, well, why the heck would you cast Julia Roberts as your generic blank Prince Charming
And do you know how
character?
much she got paid?
She's Julia Roberts.
15
How much?
million.
For
Mhm.
Notting Hill?
The line she said where they
Like
asked,
what?
yeah, like
Yeah.
that actually what I think the script said like 10 million, but she changed it to like make a little joke. That yeah, she I took a screenshot of this.
Dang.
Yeah, 15
Good thing you
million.
came with the fun facts today.
This salary was significant, placing her among Hollywood's highest earners, though she later became the first actress to earn 20 million for the film Erin Brockovich. 15 million to play
Dang.
nobody.
Well, I was yeah, literally. I was wondering when she said that line because I was like, that sounds like a lot of money.
I know, I almost didn't I can't even
Um,
comprehend it still. I was like, 15 million?
Yeah, if you're wondering what we're talking about, because again,
If you didn't watch this movie.
we're not going to encourage you that strongly to watch this movie. Julia Roberts plays a famous actress in the movie, and somebody asks her how much she was paid for her last movie, and she says 15 million.
Yeah.
I guess that's all.
So you didn't
I just didn't like
the
it.
dialogue. You didn't like
Tell us what you didn't like about it.
honestly, like, there wasn't even anything that I strongly disliked. I just thought this is stupid and boring. Like, there was nothing to like besides Julia Roberts, because I will put some respect on her name. But, yeah, like, I thought the characters were weird. I thought, like we talked about, the dialogue was weird. I didn't like that like he was the main character. And then when it came in and she had a boyfriend, I was like, huh? Like, why are you?
Yeah, that was
Like,
so
why are you
bizarre.
doing this then? Like,
Well, and it was never really explained. Like, then when she like came crawling back to Will, she didn't really offer up any explanation. Like, yeah, sorry, I was like low key cheating on my
yeah,
boyfriend.
it was just weird. It's just weird.
Also, speaking of her boyfriend, who was played by Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is so strange to me because he was hot for exactly 5 minutes, and for some weird reason, those 5 minutes coincided with him being in Beetlejuice. Like, that's the only time. Like, that's the only time he's ever been hot, and it was in Beetlejuice of all movies.
Yeah, it's funny too that like these two guys just happen to be two like the worst men in Hollywood. Alec Baldwin's the worst and
Alec
Hugh Grant's the
Baldwin.
worst. Did you I don't know, if you were looking up fun facts too, maybe you already saw something like this, but he is just the worst. And I told Issa even like 2 episodes ago that I just didn't like Hugh Grant for some reason, so I feel very validated in this. But here's a couple quotes from him, okay? First he says, I would like to do a sequel to one of my own romantic comedies that shows what happened after those films ended, really to prove the terrible lie that they all were, that it was a happy ending. So one, I'm like, oh, you're like Scrooge. He's like, I want to make a sequel so I can show that this is all a big fat lie and happily ever afters don't exist. And I'm like, okay. And again, I love Julia Roberts, so this really offended me. He was on a show, and like callers could like call in and ask questions. They asked if he and Julia were still in touch, to which he shook his head to indicate they were not. Then he admitted, I mean, I would be, I suppose, but I've probably made too many jokes about the size of her mouth. She might hate me now. Which is what
What?
yeah,
Oh my
so he went on
gosh.
to claim that it was hard to kiss Julia because of the size of her mouth, quipping that he was aware of a faint
What?
echo.
What a jackass.
I know. I'm like, bro, shut up. She's gorgeous. I love her smile.
Yeah.
I literally, like, I literally think Julia Roberts is so beautiful. Like, if you were to ask me, like, my top 5, like, female celebrity crushes or whatever, like, I love Julia Roberts. I think she's so beautiful. I love her big red curly hair. In this movie, they didn't really show her hair like that, but, like, in my best friend's wedding, I think she's stunning. She also, like, always kind of reminded me of my mom for some reason, because my mom, like, there's pictures of her when she was younger. My mom has red hair naturally.
I can actually kind of
Yeah,
see
she
that.
has
Yeah.
red hair, and my mom got it permed, like, when she was younger. So there's one specific picture of my mom with, like, this big red curly hair, and I was like, "Mom, you kinda look like her." But I know that this was, like, something that was said about Julia, like, the size of her mouth, because even my mom said, like, "Oh, you think I have a big mouth." And this was like years ago that I told her this. Like, I was in high school, and, like, she said that, like, people would say that Julia Roberts has, like, a horse mouth, and I'm like, "Why are people so awful?" Like, and Hugh Grant, of all people, is saying this. I'm like, "Hugh Grant, like,
Yeah.
you're not cute at all."
Why did he even get cast in so many rom-coms if he hated
Well,
them so
exactly,
much?
and it just seemed to be her, because he, complimented Renee Zellweger, who is his co-star in Bridget Jones' Diary, and praised her as a top snogger, which, even if that's a compliment, like, ugh, it's just like, I just don't
Yeah,
like it. He
that's
said that
creepy.
he claimed to be engaged in a competitive snogging, um, to beat the on-screen to beat his on-screen love rival, who is Colin Firth. Um, and so, like, he's going on about, like, how he had to be better, and that they'll have to ask Renee who she preferred, and I'm just like, "You're weird. You're weird in the movie, and you're weird in real life. I don't like you."
Now that you're telling me all this, I think I remember in the past few years, like, a clip of Hugh Grant being rude to an interviewer on a red carpet went
I
kind of
think I know what you're
viral.
talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said, but because I was trying to remember, I was like, somehow I knew Hugh Grant was a jerk, but I couldn't remember what from, but now I'm wondering if that's what it was.
Yeah. He's just
Hmm.
lame. And yeah, he was in a lot of rom-coms.
Okay, well, good to know for future reference. Like the next Hugh Grant movie we do, or the next Richard Curtis movie we do, will most likely be a hate
I wouldn't
watch.
even watch it. I'm not even gonna put money in their pocket.
Yeah, but sometimes it's fun to do an episode
Okay,
where we didn't like it. We got to
we'll
mix it up, you
pirate it
know?
off the internet.
Okay, well, maybe
Oh
don't
my.
say that publicly.
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
crazy to me.
Allegedly, we will pirate Love Actually.
Yeah, you wanna do another we could do that at Christmas time, a hate watch.
Okay, do you have anything else to say about the 1 hour and 15 minutes you did watch before we do our ratings?
No.
All right. Well, maybe I should. All this hate talk is making me think I should lower my
Oh,
rating.
you gave it something more than 1 star? Now I'm curious. Okay, tell me your authentic
Uh,
reviews and why, and then you can
okay.
maybe make a change.
Well, this is the problem. It feels dumb to give anything a lower score than those 2 Christmas movies we
I
watched.
enjoyed those more.
I'm like, it just felt ridiculous to give Notting Hill a lower score than A Very Jonas Christmas Movie and Merry Little Xmas.
That's so true.
But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, you know what? I think we're valid for that. So I gave it a 2.5 because that's what I gave those Christmas movies.
Like the overall rating. Okay.
Yeah. But you're right. I'll give it a. Well, see, now you said you didn't laugh. I
You
have a
laughed?
confession.
Okay,
I
which
laughed a
parts?
couple times. I
Tell
don't want to
me.
say. Bike.
My least favorite character.
The weird roommate.
No,
Yep.
he's exactly like the characters that I hated in A Merry Little Xmas. Like I told you, like I hate these like weird, quirky, like caricature people that that are just not real.
It was just like so shocking and out of place in the rest of the movie that like I guffawed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So when a movie does make me laugh, I feel like I can't give it a 1 star. I'm like, well, you got me.
Okay.
I'll give it a 2. I'll lower it from a 2.5 to a 2. What would you give it?
I mean, I DNF'd it. So, a
So
Honestly, I feel like a 1's too high.
Well, on Letterboxd, you can do half stars, so you could
I'll
give it
give
half
it
a
half a
star.
star. Because I really
Okay.
there was nothing I was enjoying about it. And that half star goes to Julia Roberts and Julia Roberts only.
All right. Half a star from Sydney and a tomato.
Yep.
Kiss? Did you even make it to the kiss?
Well, okay, because they kissed in the hallway. But
yeah, and we didn't even get to
yeah,
see
I
it
was
very
like,
well.
I must have been distracted even in that moment because all of a sudden she was back apologizing for kissing him. And I was like, oh, you kissed? I probably was watching a heated Rivalry edit.
Oh, that kiss. Sorry, I was thinking of when they have sex. But you're talking about their first kiss.
Yeah.
That was a bad kiss. She just
It was just weird. Half a star.
Listen. Listen, sometimes I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to be too woke and like take these things too seriously. But like, yeah, I didn't like the way she kissed him. Like, with no warning. No, it just like out of nowhere. So yeah, I'd give all the kisses in the whole movie 1. What did you say you gave it?
0.5. I'm gonna give everything a 0.5.
Wow, okay.
Actually,
well, now
I'm gonna give the
about
chemistry a 0.
Holy, you're making me feel dumb
No,
with my
tell me. I
ratings.
just am a hater. I'm just being a hater. What did you give it? Okay, but I didn't
2.5.
make it to the part where like she came back and like I stopped when her boyfriend came, you know? So
you didn't even see them
yeah, I didn't even see the scene of like I'm just a girl.
Wow.
So okay.
And you didn't see them like make
No.
love. It was nothing. It was like Fade to Black.
But they had some good chemistry.
I mean, like they had flashes of it, sure.
But I think I gave the chemistry in like Eternity a 2. So I think like when Harry met Sally was I don't know. But again, like it goes into like a rabbit hole when you start like comparing movie to movie. You just have to like watch this movie and give it the ratings just off this movie and not like go back and compare it to every single movie because then everything starts to change, you know? So
yeah, which is why I certainly shouldn't be comparing any movie ever to A Very Jonas Christmas. Okay, longevity of the couple. Now, this is interesting because it did show them get married.
And have a kid.
But I gave them a 1. That would not happen in real life.
Yeah, and like it's weird that he already had a marriage end in divorce because she cheated on him. And so then like it's weird that he started a relationship with somebody who she was cheating on somebody. You know, like I'm like, you guys don't have the greatest track record of relationships.
Okay, meet cute. You at least made it that far.
Yeah. Okay. I'll be more generous with this one because in theory, if you take Hugh Grant out of it and you're just looking at like the story, that's like cute. Like if I was a bookstore owner and I was in my bookstore and like one of the most famous actors walked in and like we had this banter, like that would be really cute, you know? So a 2.
It ruined it for me. I mean, I gave it a 2 as well, but like it wasn't even a bookstore. It was a travel bookstore, which doesn't make
like
any
how are you
sense.
in business?
And why the heck was she? They never explained like what she was doing in the travel bookstore.
Yeah. Still weird, but in theory, cute.
Okay. Would you like to guess what the Rotten Tomatoes score is? I have both the critic score and the audience score.
I think I saw the critic score, which was what, like 82 or 86
on our post.
84. Which pissed me off because Dirty Dancing was like 72. And this movie is far better than Dirty Dancing. But I didn't want to see the audience scores, so I didn't click on it to like read why the critics liked it. So if I'm gonna guess the audience score, 75? Okay,
79.
That's too high, but
the average Letterboxd score is 3.7.
It's not bad though.
I was trying to figure out what I was missing and why people liked it and why it had such high scores. And everything it said was like all the stuff we didn't like. I kept seeing people say witty banter, witty dialogue. And I was like, that is not what I was getting from Notting Hill.
Were they men?
I don't know. I should have looked closer. Maybe they were British people.
True.
If we have any British listeners out there, which I don't think we do.
No, actually, I think we... Let me tell you.
Well, if we do have any British listeners, we just lost them.
They're like, that's my favorite movie of all time. Okay, let me tell you. For everyone that's been listening, thank you so much. We have surpassed 400 plays on the podcast, which is super awesome. So again, thank you for everyone that keeps listening to us. Hopefully you don't mind us talking crap about some of these movies. But it says that 4.2% of our audience is from the United Kingdom. 4.2.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, I loved Notting Hill and I love British people.
Are not weird at all. We love you.
You guys are actually the funniest people I know.
And you've got such great banter. Really cute guys like Hugh Grant. Yeah.
Now we gotta pander to the British people and the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
Only
lovers.
85% of our audience is from the United States. So we have listeners in the United Kingdom, Australia, the Philippines, Mexico, Germany, the Netherlands, Turkey, Canada, Ireland, France, Iceland, Chile, Guam, Spain, and Hungary. Some of those are 0.2%, so it might literally be one person in each one of those countries. But still, is that not cool?
That's crazy. Well, thank you to our international listeners. Okay, well, I have one more fun fact, and then I say we wrap it up and move on with our lives from Notting Hill.
What is it?
You might have seen this one. Notting Hill came out the same weekend as The Phantom Menace.
And I'll piggyback off that. Yeah, so it opened the same weekend as Phantom Menace, and it opened at number 2. So like out of all the movies that came in, that was the second. But it was the biggest opening, I think, of all time for a romantic comedy. And it beat out My Best Friend's Wedding that also starred Julia Roberts. But then a month after it was released, it lost its record for highest grossing opening weekend for a romantic comedy to Runaway Bride, which also starred Julia Roberts.
Those only came out a month apart? Yeah. Oh, wow. Because I did see that, but I didn't realize that
it was that quick.
They were so close to each other.
Julia Roberts truly was like the Meg Ryan of the 90s. Like, she had rom-com after rom-com coming out. And it's funny because they mentioned Meg Ryan when those guys are at the restaurant talking about her.
I was about to ask you if you got that far.
I was like, oh, hey, Meg, how you doing? Yeah, so that's it. And never letting Issa pick a movie ever again. No, I'm just kidding.
It was a joint effort.
Look, we all make bad choices sometimes. I'm kidding because you're the one that chose Book Lovers, which has changed my life forever. You also chose Powerless, but we'll forgive you for that one. I know. I'm just teasing you. And it's not your fault.
You're the one that has seen Notting Hill.
I should have been more... I should have drawn up my memories of why I didn't like it more. And I don't blame you because, like, I think it's a general statement, like a true general statement to say, oh, everyone loves Notting Hill, you know? And so I'm kind of shook that it's... that I was so bored.
It's like, I want everyone to watch it just so they can commiserate with us. But also, like, you guys really don't need to watch this one, I'd say.
And I don't know if it just made it worse because we had just watched Heated Rivalry. Like, I don't know.
I saw a Letterboxd review that said it was like 1 star. This would be indefinitely better if it was gay.
You know what? I don't even think that would make... It's still just a boring movie. So... Maybe your movies have to be, like, kind of boring to be nominated for awards. Because I don't ever really watch the movies that are nominated. We'll make sure that our next pick is, well, besides Bridgerton, I guess there's no way to make sure, though. Because I like watching these movies that we haven't watched before. But it does kind of, it puts us into a position where we have no idea what to expect. And everyone has such different taste. And it's hard to know. But We'll do our best.
Well, I don't care. I have just as much fun watching a movie I don't like as I do watching a movie I do like. I love to be a hater
It is
sometimes.
fun to be a hater. Like book club, when we hated the book, was like some of the best ones. So,
Yeah.
no, I get that.
Okay, but Bridgerton will have so much. I don't even know. Do we need to do like a 2-part episode?
We'll see. Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But if we do end up doing some kind of Wonderful, which is my like most, it's like an old classic that I view as being super underrated and one of my favorite oldies, you're not allowed to be a hater. If you hate it, no, you are
Okay.
allowed to be a hater because I'm curious. It's still fun to like hear other people's point of views, but be soft with me. Don't break my heart all at once.
Well, when have we ever when have we ever disagreed on anything,
That's true.
Sydney?
Like if we hate something, we usually both hate it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, I'm not worried.
I was nervous with Heated Rivalry because you had just watched episode 1 and I was already like getting through and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. I really hope Issa loves this." And then it paid off. So,
I was surprised how much you loved it, which I guess I don't know why I was surprised.
I'm like,
Well, you were being so nonchalant about it. You were like, "Yeah, I watched the first 3 episodes."
well, I didn't want to like, well, I mean, at that point the first 2 episodes were kind of like, oh, I'm not sure. The third one I really liked, but I was still
Yeah.
kind of waiting to see where it went. But I didn't want to like I wanted to hear your like pure unfiltered thoughts that weren't like swayed or influenced at all by anything I said. So I was trying to play it cool. But I'm like my For You page is everything is Heated Rivalry. And I think I might be like the level of obsession you were with The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah.
Wow. That's a big
Yeah.
deal.
Like it's all I think about.
Okay, wait. Did we even talk about it enough? Like, what do you love so much about it? Tell us.
I don't know. I just think it's cute. The first 2 episodes, I was like, well, I don't know, like, how am I going to feel about this? Because there wasn't really any emotions. Like you said, they were just like F buddies. And so, I didn't know what to expect. But then, like, somehow it, like, still pulled at your heartstrings, you know? Part of why it feels so special is actually, like, why people on TikTok are like, something about the show makes me feel sad, and I think it's because, like, I've never been, like, loved or, like, wanted in this way, and I don't know if I ever will be. And, like, that is sad, but I'm like, "Girls, you need to be picking some better men." Because I feel like I obviously, like and like I said, like, I hope every person feels this way, but, like, I feel like a deep, deep, like, emotional love for my husband. Every romance movie that I watch, I imagine, like, me and my husband, which is maybe weird in, like, a gay in a gay show. That I'm like, "Oh, that one's me and that one's Reyes." No. But, I just, like, feel so much love for him that I always imagine, like, what if this were me and him? And so I think that's, like, why the scene with, like, Kip and Scott even was, like, so emotional. Like, I think that if you have, like, a really strong, love like that, it makes it really easy uh, I don't know what the right word is. I don't know if empathize is the right word because, like, I empathize with gay people if I have not ever, like, lived that experience? I don't know. But sympathize is not the right word either. But, like, it's easy to, like, feel for them because I picture, like, what if I lived in a world where, like, it was socially not acceptable for me to, like, be with my husband? Like, that would break my heart, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, so it just makes it like, I just love that emotional that emotional aspect that, like, even with all the extreme sex and all of that, like, it's still it's, like, in its core was, like, 2 people that love each other and that, like, all they want is to, like, be happy and be together, and, um, and just picturing that, like, with the person that I love most always makes it feel special, you know? Whereas, like, people with me
Yeah.
is this making any sense?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I just think it's funny. I guess I just don't watch movies like that, like inserting me and Ryan into them. So It's just like kind of funny.
Okay, well, I would be Ilya,
Oh,
and Alan would be Shane.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. Like, that's a whole can of worms you just opened.
In like the most simplest form. Not in the like sub-dom,
Okay. We're done. You're done. You're done.
Did I cross
In
the
conclusion,
line?
Notting Hill's... No, I'm mostly teasing you, but...
You say you know it. You know it's true. And you would be Ilya too. You would be Ilya. You know it's true.
Okay. So anyway, you guys, Notting Hill sucked, but go watch Heated Rivalry, and we'll see you guys next week for Bridgerton.
Bye.
Bye.